Hello, hello, I am back. I was just here, now I'm back. So we have the amazing Abigail Chandler joining us. Why do I sing everything? Why do I do this? Joining us for a live interview. Abigail is one of my amazing clients and now a great friend. So she was a client first and my nose is itchy. So I'm going to invite her on. I'm going to try. I haven't done this in so long. Bring Abigail on camera. Yes. You are jumping on. If you have anybody who you think like this, if you know Abigail and you're like, this is going to be powerful, invite them to watch.
Hello.
Abby.
I'm in. I can't. Let's make sure
Hello.
I'm actually in the camera. Hi.
Hello, I see your hair. Every time I see your hair, it just makes me happy. I'm just like, You will see that I put a little lion emoji as well because I was like, hey,
Yay.
Abby.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, so I asked Abby to jump on a live interview with us. I've been wanting to do this for a while because her story is so unique. Is like the way that she works is so unique. She is a perfect example of just be who the fuck you are, and that is gonna work. Hi, Diana. So say hi to jumping on, and if I didn't ask you this beforehand, but I'm kind of gonna throw you in at the deep end. If you have any questions for me or Abby as you go through, please feel free to ask, and I'm sure she will mind answering even though I didn't ask her.
No, it's fine.
Okay, cool. So first thing is always give us an introduction of yourself, your story, your business.
Oh, everything. Go. Thanks.
Big one, yeah.
Myself, me and my business. So I'm an empowerment coach. I'm basically a life coach, but I specialize in empowering people. So my belief is that when you truly learn who you are and then become into that, you become the next, lean into that, you become the next level version of yourself. And I empower my clients to get there. So I facilitate them getting to this point. Basically, I'm all about know you, find you, discover who she is, discover how you work, run with that with your life and trust your intuition. And you can't go wrong, essentially. So I work with I think actually everyone bar one of my clients so far has been an online entrepreneur because it's normally like at the basis of this, I want this to work and it's not. And it's normally just that they need to find the answers within themselves, which is what I teach. Essentially, you don't need external, you don't need a missing piece. You are everything that you need. You just need to trust your own wings and fly. Yeah, so that's what I do. Is that enough?
Yeah. So, and this is what I love about you and your story so much is that like when you try and we've had this back and forth so many times, when you try and do things like other people do, it just doesn't work.
No.
It's just like I just have to be me, and that's why you keep coming back
Yeah.
to. You just like I just have to be me. I just have to be me. So you literally walk your talk, and I love it. So tell us a bit more about your journey to this point, so your background, your story, because I know that's like a really powerful piece to this.
Yeah, that's super important to me actually, and I'm happy that you asked about that because I like to share it, and I'm really open with talking about it. And some people are like, can I ask you questions? And I'm like, yeah, go. So to keep it brief, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. If anybody isn't really familiar with that, it's a really tight knit, really insular religion. A lot of people refer to it as a cult, me included now. But I was brought up in that, so that's all I knew from childhood till I was 26. I got married while I was a Jehovah's Witness, and then shortly after I left my husband and I left the faith and I rebuilt my life. But this was a huge thing because everything, when you're a Jehovah's Witness, like you don't look outside of that sect. You don't go to Google and ask questions. You don't go to your friends. You don't really have friends outside of it so much. A lot of like free thinking is discouraged. A lot of listening to your heart and your soul is discouraged. Those are sinful and wrong. So like it couldn't be more opposite to what I now teach. But through coming through that fire, as I call it, I always say like I would have been terrified to go through that fire if you'd have told me that I was going to leave this religion and rebuild my life. And when I say leave the religion, it's like leave. I have like a couple members of my immediate family that are still close with me, but my friends, everyone that was in my social circle was at my wedding. I had to step away from them all. So to put it in perspective, it was kind of like somebody telling, like knowing that the sky was blue your whole life, and then somebody going, or you thinking, actually, I think the sky is green, and just deciding how to relearn that and like make sense of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I did that. I was 26 at the time, so that was 6 years ago, and I rebuilt my life. I relearned who I was. I rewired my brain around different beliefs. I started to explore life and really find what was available to me. I started to travel. I became a yoga teacher. I made new friends. I made a new life. I had new relationships. I burnt all the restrictions that I had before. Yeah, and it taught me a lot of life lessons like really quickly. I was like a baby at that age. I was like, I haven't got a clue how the world works. Um, but as I said, I never thought I would go through that. And then when I did, it was like somebody pushing myself through the fire and coming out the other side and thinking, do you know what? That really didn't actually fucking burn that much at all. And I did it. And then I was left with this belief of, well, if I can do that, I can do anything. So that's kind of mainly my main background. And I've come out the other side of that. And because of that and different things that I've been through in years since, I teach people you are all you need. You know, like I said at the start, when you've got complete faith in yourself, you literally don't need anything else. Everything boils down to you. You got this. Like your intuition knows. You just need to lean in, trust her, discover her. And I'm super about like getting inquisitive about who you are and exploring that, because we spend a lot of time in our lives thinking we're someone else or trying to be someone else. And when you actually give yourself the time to explore who you are, that's kind of where the magic happens. And then in recent years, I've been through some health stuff. I had a chronic fatigue syndrome for like 10 years. I had a real burnout with that last year. And that's what got me from corporate 9 to 5 to VA to coach. So that's how I started most recently and got into my coaching practice.
Wow. Such a big story, and like I love
tried
how
to keep
you
it small
together into like a 3-minute slot.
Yeah.
Like your story is amazing, and like especially I love the fact that everything though, when you look back at it in hindsight, got you to where you are. Like the religion.
It's a religion. Yeah, it's a Christian religion.
Yeah.
Cult.
I still need to learn about this. So the religion that led you to sort of exploring life, and then the illness that led you to coaching, is just like, it's insane how you, when you look back, it does all like everything happens when it's meant to happen. So amazing. Okay, so where were you at when we first started working together?
Oh, when we first started, well, first of all, I'd been in your group for a while, and I was like, I'm not working with her. She's 10 years younger than me. Which I'm just going to be honest about. I was like,
a lot.
Who is this girl? But obviously over time I got to know you, and well, I just kind of found you in your group space. When I started, that was June last year, when I really decided, right, this is what I'm going into. I kind of fell into it in a way through my VA work. But again, I listened to my gut, and it was just a sole purpose for me. I was like, that's what I meant to do. So right at the beginning, I knew that this was my purpose. I knew that everything I'd been through and the ways that I learned to trust myself was bringing me here. But I had that total imposter syndrome that everyone has of like, yeah, I've got this idea and I love it and I'm so in love with this, it's going to be amazing. I don't know anything and I haven't got a clue how to start this and I don't know what to do and I must listen to everyone else and soak up all the freebies and find the external missing piece to discover how I can turn this passion into a coaching business. And I had real resistance to being a coach as well. I was like, I don't like this coaching word. I'm not, especially being a life coach. So when I first started, I actually wanted to be, I started doing like holistic and business coaching, because I realized that the work I do would support an entrepreneur so well. And I could see people online that were struggling with things that I could see, and I could see what they needed. So I was trying to sort of push the business coaching side. But it wasn't for me. And I was just stuck in what I want to do to I don't feel good enough. I never feel good enough. I haven't got a fucking clue. Just, that lost place that everyone knows when they start out, like, I don't even know where to go with this. And then I hired you. And I was like this little mouse of like, well, inside I was like this lion, but at the time I was this little, I was just like, and tell me everything. I don't know what to do. So yeah,
Yes.
a little, I wasn't listening to myself. I wasn't embodying what I believe in at all.
And I do remember that very, very well. And like, this is why it was one of my most favorite like transformations, because when you came to me, you were so lost, and you were like, "This is never gonna work," and I was like, "This is literally the process. Like, I see this happen."
Yeah.
I remember saying to you, I was literally like, "It's good. One day, it's literally gonna be like boom, and you're gonna be like, what the heck?" And I remember you messaging me on that day. You were like, "Oh my god."
Yes.
Just spikes out of nowhere, and I see this happen a lot. It's like the groundwork piece is really, really hard, and for anyone who's watching who's kind of just starting out, or maybe you've been at this for like 6 months, even sometimes up to a year, maybe sometimes even over, depending on everyone's journey is different. But that initial groundwork can feel like the hardest thing in the world. You feel like it's never going to work, and then all of a sudden your group will spike, or your Instagram will spike, and then you'll have like 7 clients, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, now I don't know how to handle
Yeah, and that's where I am now. I'm like, slow down. People, slow down. I remember you saying to me, it's just, like you always repeated to me, it's just the uphill struggle at start. And I think there's so much to be said for having that belief that it will, like, ironically, coming from a faith and not being a religious person now, I've never had faith in anything more than I have like myself in this journey, because I was just like, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work, just keep going. And you realize that somewhere you're like, this is just, well, you drummed it into me, this is just part of the journey. I'm just going uphill, going uphill. And then I hit that point where I was like,
yeah. And it's getting yourself out there, it's getting yourself known, it's getting clear on who you are, what you want to do, building your offers. It feels like a lot at first, but like, even if, and this is a funny thing, and we all look back at it in hindsight, and I was once that person at the beginning who was like, to my coach, I was like, "This is never gonna work, I don't know what I'm doing." And I was that person. Oh my god, my poor coaches, bless their hearts. So it's always the same, and then eventually you realize that it does work, and you look back and you're like, "Oh, why was I like that?" It's like when you look back at your profile picture from 10 years ago, like that challenge is going on, and you're just like, luckily for me, by the way, I deleted that Facebook. Like, I haven't tried Facebook, no idea why, so I'm like, I don't even have those photos, thank whoever, right? Thank the universe. So it is, and it's always the same. So if you are in the sort of building phase right now, and you're just like, just have the belief, just be like, every single thing that I'm doing, every single thing that I'm trying, even if not, like, even if right now every single thing that you're trying is that it just seems like it's not working, keep going and keep believing. Like, if I do this enough, it's going to work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. And when you have the belief, it just happens, because you show up in a different energy. And this is something that's going to be inside my program that's coming out soon, and it's like the asking yourself the question before you jump on a live, before you write a post: if I truly, truly believed that this was going to work, that this was going to lead to this working, how would I show up? And you would show up in a completely different energy. You would be like, "Okay, let's go, be on live." Even if one person was watching, you'd literally be like, "Okay, one person," you'd be celebrating that one person, and all of this is going to be inside there. Like, I can't throw this at you in one live, because you'll be like, it's work, but it's good. It's good. So, where are you at right now? Like, where do you feel you're at right now? What are you going towards next? Like, from then to now, what is now looking like?
From then to now, I like you saying about the, the Facebook profile 10 years thing that's going on, because it is literally like, what was I thinking? Now I'm like, what was I even stressing about? I like to refer to it as my fuck this shit moment that I had. Sort of getting on towards the end of last year. I think it was about October, November time, I think it was. And I just had this moment of like, who am I? I'm not embodying what I'm teaching. That was the biggest thing for me. I just had this like light bulb moment of, I'm not doing what I would want my clients to do. I'm not doing what I would teach them. So I did that, like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. This is what I believe in. And I just had this like, it sounds really bad to refer to it as that way, but I just don't care about stuff otherwise. I'm like, this is what I think, this is what I believe in, I know this works, and this is what I'm going to show up in. And you're right, your energy totally changes. And then what happened, well, I should say before that, I took a really big rest. I took like a 2-week rest, because I think a lot of people get in that place where they're like a bit burnt out with, oh, I keep trying all the things, and then I tried that thing, and then and you don't need to try and do all those things. You need to go inside and listen to yourself only, and be like, this is what I think, this is what I believe, this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what I want to do. That's literally all you need. And I did that, and then bing, client, and I was like, oh. And then my group engagement went up a little bit. Like, Facebook still screws me on that somewhat, but that's changed. I had people coming in from Instagram. I had people coming in from my group. I had members in my paid membership. Actually, I did have those for a few months, but they were kind of connections that I made online anyway. So I had different people coming in there. I started coaching, and like actually started coaching. And now I'm at a point where I've got people reaching out to me being like, I know I want to work with you. I had somebody find me on my Instagram. She found me on there within like 3 days. She came in my group. She was like, I've consumed everything. I already know I want to work with you. And I was like, we're starting to work together at the end of the month. So yeah, it's unrecognizable. It's just like, and all I needed was that belief in myself, like everything that you just said. That's all I needed. And then it just went boom. And now I'm like, yes, now I'm living my truth. And that's my biggest thing. Like, I wasn't living my truth when I was that religious girl and all of that crap. Like, now I am. Now I do my thing, and I don't even care. Like, I remember you saying, like, you won't even worry about people coming to you, or you won't care about numbers or this or that, because it just happens. And it's that base belief of like, yeah, this is just what's happening. That's how it goes. Cool. And I just let them come in.
And that is exactly it. And this is like, I did a live just before this, and that is what I was talking about. I was like, you have to be behind your work, you have to be behind yourself, and then everything will happen. If you are just like not believing that it's going to work, or not believing in yourself, then this everything that you do is not going to work, and you're just going to feel like you're forcing it, and then you're going to be crying, and then you're going to like feel like shit, and then you're probably going to quit, or you're going to take a rest and then come back and like, fuck this shit. And I had that moment as well, legit, like back in March, I think it was. I was just like, I am fucking done. I had worked with some people by then, and I was like trying to do email marketing. I was like trying to do this e-com thing. I was trying to do all the systems and stuff before I'd even like started coaching people, and I was like, what the hell? So I had one of those moments. So I was like, I'm just gonna show it, say what I want to say, have full confidence in myself, and then boom, 7 clients in a week. And I was like, no, I don't know what
Slow down.
so many clients. So I was just and that's it. And this is like where I'm coming from now with helping people to be ready for those clients as well, because it's all well and good like getting to that phase of making money and people think their problems will disappear. Nuh-uh. You just end up with like the responsibility of clients and money, and then it's like, oh shit.
Because
My grandparents me. They never ring me. It's every time on a live, I swear. Okay, hopefully the next one again. If that's so, again, give me 2 seconds, I will be fine. Hopefully everything's okay. So my next question for you was like, what you kind of covered this already, so I'll say the 2 questions in one. What were your biggest shifts? Like, I know that for you was like you've kind of just gone over that. So what were your biggest shifts, and what were your biggest results? So in a tangible result, like what has that been for you?
Yeah, so my biggest shift was just I think for me it was, I have to embody what I'm teaching, and that was the most powerful thing. And that's gonna be that has to be the most powerful thing, because if you don't embody what you're teaching, you're not gonna, like you said, you're not gonna show up in the right energy, but you're gonna get like nervous with your clients and things because you don't have that foundation behind it. And for me, I'm like, I'm teaching, be vulnerable, trust yourself, like empower yourself, believe in yourself, blah blah blah. This is your missing piece. And I was like, not doing it. So I was like, right, put yourself through the difficult work of doing it more for yourself. It's easy to see everybody else's stuff, but our own is like, so yeah, that was probably that. And then tangible results, I've got now 5 clients. I think I've got my 5th client now. So in 2 months, I've got my 5th client waiting to sign up with me. And do you know what? It's not even been about like, yes, the clients are amazing, and that's awesome that I've got clients and I'm making money off of it, but it's about, I get to do my work. Like, that's, for me, that's actually the biggest, if that counts as a tangible result, it's the feeling of like, I get to do what I was put here to show up to do. And even the stuff that I don't get paid for, like the connections in my groups and the changes that I see going on in my group with the women in there, and just knowing like the messages that you get of this helped me and this supported me and thank you for this and blah blah blah, and it's like everything's just gone like vroom, and that happened because I believed in myself. And that's like you said, you kind of get to that place and you're like, okay, this is like, I'm really busy now, but it's amazing. But yeah, if you just put it in literal physical terms, I'm like, I spent 4 or 5 months being like, just when I get that one client, that'll validate me, that'll mean everything. And I was like, oh shit, I need to do that for myself. And now I'm about to sign up my 5th client. So yeah, big shift.
Amazing. And also, like, going outside of business, you found like the love of your life. You have kicked the fears of like, and I know this out to other people who haven't had CFS, this won't sound like a big thing, but walking to town the other day, like all these little things, like, and this is where self-belief covers everything. Like I've said inside this group like 20 times in the last week. If you believe in yourself, like your whole life will change. Yes, it's great for business, but then all of a sudden your relationships will be amazing, and you will face fears that you never thought you would face. And it's just
you just show up for life
so
like how you want to. Like I have everyday moments in my life and I'm like, did that just happen? Even stupid stuff, like just living my days how I want to live my days. I'm like, yeah, life's pretty sweet. And you're right. And then you push yourself further. And the beautiful thing is, then what comes out of that is so much more self-development, because you're like, oh, I hit this point where I was just so desperate to get to for a while. And then it becomes like, oh, boom, 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 what's available to me now? And there's a lot going on for me now.
So I'm so proud of you. And like, I just love your story, and I love how far you've come in literally like 3 months. So it's so possible. And this isn't like, to anyone who's watching, maybe you've been doing personal development for years and you're like, oh, I haven't got that far. It's not a race, it's not a thing. It's just fun to see in your own clients, but there's no time limit, and that's a big thing. There's no time, even if you are, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and now you're starting to do personal development. Like, it's never too late. It's not a race. It's never about time. It's just about joy and happiness when you do. So it's probably the fluffiest thing that will ever come out.
I so agree, though. I'm like, oh yes.
Yeah, this is like Abby's tip. She's like, yes.
Yeah, come on.
I love the joy, the love, and I'm just over here like, fuck. It's so funny how we work together, because in some ways we're so the same, and then in other ways it's so different. But yeah, so fun. Okay, so what was my final question for you? Okay, so just where can people find you, and then your LA videos?
So people can find me on Instagram, Abigail__, because somebody already had my name, Chandler. So Abigail 2_ Chandler on Instagram. You can find me on my Facebook page, which is Abigail Chandler Coaching, or you'll see it come up as Abigail Chandler Empowerment Coach. You can also find me in my group called Next Level You. If you go on my profile, you can find everything linked to in there, or just search in the Facebook bar, Next Level You. That's a community, that's a safe space for people to explore who they are now and share their feelings and get to know those feelings and emotions and get friendly with that shit, and be a community of people doing that. And it's a real safe zone. So it's a really beautiful group, actually. There's some amazing people in there. So that's where you can find me. And yes, thank you for my little plug. After this call, so at the moment, hence what I just said about like, once you get so far in your self-development, you're like, I want more. I'm currently trying to get my ass to LA. There is an event next month by another coach called Ruby Fremont. And I've been determined for like in the last week or so, I just decided I'm going there. But, I kind of need a little bit of help on the money front, and because it's a ticket to LA and the price of the convention and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, she announced that she's doing the scholarship. I am trying to win a place, one of 3 places on the scholarship. After this, I'll be going live on my personal Facebook profile. So if you're not a friend of mine and you want to be, then add me. And I'll be sharing a video about the impact that I want to create in the world to win me a scholarship at this convention, so I can impact more and support my group and self-develop myself, so I can do more amazing work. I need likes, comments, loves, all the things on this video. Basically, I need to share this video and just get a shit ton of comments and likes on it. So if you could do that for me, that would be amazing. If you have any, if anything I said resonated with you, or if you believe in this work, and I'm pretty sure you do if you're in this group, please find me there. I'm going to make it worldwide anyway, global visual. So you don't have to even add me as a friend. Just go and stick a comment on that. I'm going to do it after this live. I'm psyched up.
So excited for you. And I just want to cover really quickly, that is a super important point to touch on. People come into the coaching world and they're like, right, I want a 10K month in my first month. even with 5 clients and your mastermind now, like these 10K months that people are dreaming of, it takes build up. It takes build up of what you're comfortable with pricing wise. Because Abby could be at 10K months, but she's building herself up with her prices for her clients where she's comfortable, stretching that a little bit. And this is super important. Like people see these 10K fucking months everywhere. And it's just like, oh, well, if I'm not making 10K months, I'm not good at what I do. She's one of the best fucking coaches you will see on the internet. And she isn't making 10K months yet because it's not where she wants to be at. And if she did make a 10K month this month, she would probably be like, whoa, this is too much. You build it up. It depends on who you are. There will be some people who come into the coaching world who they'll make a 10K month in their first month and they'll be good with it. But some people have to build up. Most of us have to build up. If you've never made a 10K month before, that kind of pressure and that kind of like jump, it's like the lottery win. So don't pressure yourself to be like, if I'm not making 10K months, I'm not a good coach. Your money is fuck all to do with your coaching.
And do you know what? If I had done that, I wouldn't be shouting about it because it's not that matters. And it wouldn't have been that got me there. It doesn't matter. It's just like, get over this money thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like money is great. Money is a resource. Money, like even if you are like, I love the whole thing of this group. Like I want us to have a collective goal of 7 figures of self-actualization because I want everybody's work, and it's about your work as well. If you're at the millions and things, you can do a lot more on a bigger scale. But it's not like money is not the goal. Money is not the goal. Money is a byproduct of everything. So that's everything. I feel like we put the world to right. World to rights. Because if I said it right, leave it.
It's all right. We'll do it some more on Messenger after.
Go do your LA video and we will all stop.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing this, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
I love you.
Bye.